Alrighty. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Like we're just getting things going here and making sure the streams start up okay. And it looks like they did. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Great to see so many of you coming into the stream today. Welcome, everyone. My name is Terry White, Worldwide Design and Photography Evangelist for Adobe. It's my pleasure to be streaming to you live here on this beautiful, what is today? Thursday morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on your time of day. Maybe it's even Friday if you're in Australia. All right, so hello. Today we're going to be talking about what's new in InDesign CC as of last night. So last night there was an update to InDesign, and it brings in a feature that both Illustrator and Photoshop got first. So it's my pleasure to be showing this to you and how it works inside of InDesign. And of course, for those of you who have already done the update or kind of figured out what I was talking about, we're talking about the new stock templates that are now a part of InDesign. So we'll take a look at how those work. And before we jump into that, I want to acknowledge a couple people here. Hello, Trent. Hello, Victoria. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, but it looks like I'm not even going to try. I'll butcher it. But hello, New Zealand. we'll put it that way. Leland and Lath and everyone else in the chat, and I see some other people as well. Marat, Francisco or Francos. Hello, I'm horrible with pronouncing names, and I will stick to demoing software. Why don't I jump into that? All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and pop over to my computer. And before we get into InDesign, I just want to point this out because a lot of people are always saying, well, what's new in it? What's new? What just came out in this update that I was just told to go get? Hey, Dave Clayton's in the house as well. But what's in this update I just got notice of? And a lot of times it's a vague description or no description, or maybe it was just a simple bug fix and there are no new features. But one way you can find out or figure out for sure is to simply head over to the website. That will always keep a running list of new features that were added in each update. So for example, if you head over to adobe.com /Creative Cloud, which I have already done. So I'm at adobe.com /Creative Cloud. And then you just click on download apps, even though you're not really downloading apps right now. But if you click on download apps, you'll see all the Adobe apps that are a part of the Adobe Creative Cloud. And for any of them that have had an update, there will be a what's new link. So there's a what's new for Photoshop, what's new for Lightroom, what's new for Illustrator, and yes, what's new for InDesign. So if I pop over to that what's new for InDesign, then it will actually show me what came out and scroll down, not in June, what came out in this latest update on April 5th, which again was last night. So modern user experience, they've addressed some of the icon and look and feel of the application, updated the UI and themes. And again, that would be one of those subtle things. Maybe you noticed it, maybe you wouldn't, but now it's called out here. Start projects faster, which is where we're going to concentrate today's stream. And my favorite, which doesn't get enough attention all the time, is stability improvements. I have had InDesign crash on one of my streams before, and it's not fun. But luckily, InDesign does do a good job of recovering the document, so I was able to keep going right where I left off. All right, so keep that in mind that if you're ever looking to say, hey, what have they really added in all these updates? What features did I really get? And you can see by date, and you can see what features with a brief explanation, and sometimes full release notes, and even sometimes a video on how that particular feature works. And you can go all the way back to everything that's happened with InDesign or any application since we released in 2013. So you can see all the updates, what's been introduced, what features have come for InDesign. Here's the one for Illustrator, also got an update last night. Photoshop got an update, but I believe it was just a bug fix. So it did not list any new features, or the page hasn't been updated, which I just think it hasn't listed any new features because there weren't any. But you can always see what got introduced and when. So just keep that in mind, that if you're ever in doubt, did they really release any new features? If so, what were they? If so, when? And if so, what are they? What do they do? Then you can always go to the website and find out. All right, so with that in mind, let's pop over to InDesign CC 2017, April 5th, 2017 update. And it looks the same, operates the same, except like I said, you will notice some differences in the UI and icon. They're subtle, but they're nice. Now, the biggest difference is when I click New, instead of getting the standard rectangular new InDesign dialog box that lets me set up a document, I get this. I get a newer new dialog box, the same one that's in Photoshop and Illustrator. So it's showing me my recents, but I'm going to just pop over to print. And yes, you still can, of course, set up your own custom layouts and get all the margin information and bleed and slug information that you used to in the old dialog box. So that has not gone away. You have not lost the ability to get to those exact same options and set up presets and so forth and so on. However, on the left-hand side, and the bigger news here, is that you've got the ability to work with these, in many cases, these free stock templates. I downloaded one already. I'm going to download another one that I was saving for this stream. I have not looked at it yet, but I wanted to walk you through the process. And it intrigued me because I saw it first, before I noticed it was right here, I saw it first on the Adobe Stock webpage. So I went to Adobe Stock, I looked specifically for templates, I looked specifically now for InDesign templates, and I noticed it was on the page right here, and I was like, I think I searched for brochure and it came up. And I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting, that looks like a cool design, I would love to try that. And I said, no, hold off, wait for the stream, then you'll have that one to play with. All right, so let's pop back over to InDesign, and let's just simply click on it. Now, when you click on it, it will tell you all about it. It will tell you the sizes, how many pages, so forth and so on. It'll tell you the size of it if you're in a bandwidth restricted area. And of course, then you can go ahead and download. You do have to license it, even though it's free. You do have to go through this license stock template dialog. Once you've done that, it will go ahead and download. And then at that point, it's on your system from that point on. So you don't need an internet connection once you've downloaded it. You can actually just use it anytime you want, as much as you want. Now, once I open it, and again, it's my first time opening this template, if there are fonts that the template uses that you don't have, which is the case here, it's always going to use typekit fonts. So it's not going to make you buy some weird fonts that, you know, hey, that's cheating. You're making me perhaps buy the template or get the template for free, but you're really making me buy the fonts. Nope, the fonts are included. And it's just simply saying you don't have Roboto, if that's the name of it, you don't have those three fonts. If you want them to make this template look the way it's supposed to look, go ahead and sync the fonts. And then, of course, those fonts will be enabled on both this computer and my other computer running Creative Cloud. And then I can keep them or disable them if I'm done with the template. Or I don't have to use those fonts, because that's the one thing I want to keep in mind when it comes to a template. The template is a proposed idea, layout, thing. You don't ever have to stick with what it says. If you don't want, for example, your address and phone number and whatever up there, delete it. You don't have to live with what the template says do. The template is an idea. You can change the idea. So I like the name and address and all that up there, so I'll keep it there. But anyway, of course, you can put in your company name. You can delete all that and just put in your logo. That's the idea of a template, is that you can move this around, change it around. Everything is there for you to use. And I opened the layers panel earlier so I wouldn't forget, is that the templates are usually designed in layers so that you can work with the various elements and turn them on, turn them off as needed. So it's organized in a good way. So for example, if I go to placeholders, I can see all the various placeholders. I could turn those placeholders off. I could turn off just the text and see, just work with the images. Nice way to work with it. So it's even got a table of contents here, the thank you, and again, this is all just random text. You would, of course, go replace all of that with your text and your images. Some of the templates may come with images, and again, of course, these are royalty-free for you to use, and some of them may not. And in other words, a lot of these are just placeholders for you to put in your own photos, and I kind of like that better. It was nice that the template gave me an idea of how I could use it. So for example, if I view the preview here, I can see that it had some nice images in it from the person that put the preview up. But of course, those wouldn't be the images I'd be using anyway. So why waste my time putting those images in only for me to have to delete or replace them? So I like the idea that they were here for me to look at, give me some ideas, but they're not actually in the actual template because I'm probably not going to use them anyway. All right, so for example, if I did want to use an image, this is InDesign now. I can go to File and Place, grab whatever photo I want, whatever vector I want, whatever image I want, or delete the placeholder and not use an image. Totally up to you. And of course, I can get an image from my CC libraries, which I'm in the wrong library here. Let's go to my Adobe Live library where I've kind of been collecting things to use on the streams. So for example, I licensed this image earlier. I don't remember why, but I licensed Big Old Tree earlier. So I can just go ahead and drag that in, click place, and of course, reposition that where I want that to be inside that frame. All right, so that's just simply replacing that placeholder or filling that placeholder with the image of my choice. They've done a nice job also showing me the bleed area, so that image will bleed to the edge once this is printed and trimmed. This is a print template, so I got a bleed with this. Now, of course, at any given time, I could change that from proposal to whatever I want it to say. So maybe I want it to say ideas instead of proposal. And of course, you just rock on. You just keep editing everything, either adding images or removing their placeholders, changing the default text or removing the default text until you're finished laying out your project. So this, I think, will be a big help for those of us who are either A, design challenged. Hi, Angie. For those of you who are design challenged, hi, Deborah, and hi, David in India. For those of us who are design challenged, or we just kind of maybe run out of ideas and just want something fresh to get us going. Maybe you're not going to stick to this whole thing. For example, I kind of like the tree there. But now I'm not so happy with this blue color. So maybe I will use one of my favorite tools in InDesign, the color theme tool, and I will just pick up the colors from the tree. And I will go ahead and save those as swatches. So now that I've saved those as swatches, I can go ahead and go to my swatches panel. And they should be down here at the bottom. There they are. And maybe now I can pick a different color for that box that will be from one of the colors inside the image. So I can kind of get a different feel for the look and feel of that the way I would want. That's a little too dark. Let's go back to that. Okay, so maybe I like it, maybe I don't, but it gave me the ability to easily change it based on the image or the colors in the image that were there. So at any given time, as you know with InDesign, if you kind of want to get rid of all the guides and you kind of see where you want to see where you are at any given time, while you're not in the text tool, you can just hit the letter W and that will put you in preview. And that will kind of give you an idea of what you've done so far, which is, in this case, not a lot in the rest of the document. But at this point, I would just keep rocking on. So instead of my company is going to be, I don't know if that's text or image. Let's see. That might be an image. It looks like it's either an image or it's outline type. So let's get rid of both of those because instead, what I would rather use is my own logo. So for example, if I go to CC Libraries and I go to my own library, where I happen to store my own logo, if I scroll down here and find it, show 58 remaining. Woo. There it is. I'm just going to pull in my own logo and then place that up there instead. and then of course get it aligned where I want it. Okay, so that's how templates work. It's just a matter of getting one that you kind of like to start with and then making it your own. You don't want this box and this type here. You can go ahead and select all of these items. Oops, get that, and move it. Want it up, want it down, want it not to be there at all, then simply change it to be whatever it is you want it to be. All right, now, one more thing I want to point out, which I thought was pretty cool with the templates, and then we'll call it a day. Let's go do new document again. That will always bring up the new, as I like to call it. And a couple things. Number one, like I said before, you still have access to all your presets as before. Number two, you've got access, of course, to the templates. But the templates themselves are also organized in categories. So I was concentrating mainly on the print templates. You've got web templates. Even though InDesign is really not a web tool, maybe you're doing a mock-up of a web document, or you're creating a document that will go on the web with some interactivity, because InDesign does have its wonderful publish online feature. So if you're using that, you've got the ability to start the process with an interactive block project layout. So that means it's got links, it's got room for videos, it's got things that would be interactive that would make a great document on the web. A lot of people are making their annual reports interactive and using the Publish Online to make them available on the web. So kind of getting you started with those web type documents. And of course, mobile projects are just that, projects that might look good in an app, like a digital magazine, for example, or just you're trying to lay something out like an EPUB that would look good on a mobile device. So I think the templates are a great start. These are always getting updated, just like the ones in Photoshop and Illustrator. And of course, the ones that come with it are always free. And then there are some premium templates that you can go purchase if you like. I kind of like this one too. I didn't get to see this one earlier, but let's just see a preview of it. It's a light and dark version of a resume, a visual resume. And I love, if I have to update my resume, I think I will go with this template at some point, if I have to ever update my resume. There was one more that I thought was pretty cool, and then I'll leave you be to go explore these. Oh yeah, the fashion lookbook, or lookbook, I should say. Same thing, just kind of a nice design. I'm a photographer, so a nice design for a photo book that you could lay out in InDesign. And again, this would be one I would definitely download. Once I download that template, it's on my computer and there for me to use from here on out. All right, so let's go ahead and open that up. Missing fonts, sync the fonts. And if you didn't sync the fonts, let's say you didn't want those fonts, then you would just go change the missing fonts to the ones you want to use. You don't have to use their fonts. But now I've got this great design for a photo book ready to go. And all I'd have to do is put in my own photos and my own descriptions, all nicely laid out, ready for me to use. So that's how the templates work for Adobe InDesign, and that's what's in the new. All right, let me take a look at your questions and comments real quick. Thanks, Emma. I'm glad you like my videos. Let's go over here and see if I got anything here. Awesome, great, glad you like it. Perfect, yep. I don't know about perfect, but I think they're really, really good. All right. And yes, this video will be available later as soon as, matter of fact, later, like in a few seconds, as soon as I stop the stream, then you can watch it as much as you want. And hello, Jimmy in Barbados. And man, I'm glad I've been a lifesaver. Dave Clayton. All right. Okay, cool. Looks like I got all the questions on that side. Let me see if there are any over here. Hello, Malaysia. New Jersey in the house. All right. How to add video, please. Okay, well, it's not really part of this, but if you wanted to add a video, you would literally go to a frame. I'm just trying to find a frame here. Grab a frame and choose File, Place, and go find your video. if you've got a video that is compatible with wherever you're going to put this document, like on a mobile device or website, like an H.264 MP4 video, you would just place it. That's it. You place it just like an image. All right. So with that said, thanks everyone for watching. And let's see here if there's anything else. There is a live stream right there. Live streaming from the OFF conference, which is in Barcelona, Spain. You can check that out at adobelive.com. They've been streaming, I believe, started yesterday, I think, or today. It might have started today. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, it started today, actually. And they'll be live streaming early in the morning, our time. I don't know what it is, their time, sometime during the day, but you can go check it out at adobelive.com. They'll be streaming all kinds of design stuff there as well. And we stream there on a regular basis twice a month, adobelive.com, for 3 straight days of design, motion graphics, photography, design. All right, so with that said, cheers everybody, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. I'll be streaming from the Creative Cloud channel on YouTube tomorrow morning, same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, about something. I don't remember what. I never do. All right. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.